All right, so you're 40 years old, and all your friends and family are telling you you got to stop bench pressing. Well, that's not necessarily true. Maybe you just need to modify that a little bit. When you hit your 40s and your 50s, the tissue integrity of the rotator cuff, the biceps tendon, the pecs tendons, all those things, they do start to lose some of their elasticity. They get a little bit more fibrotic, and they are at higher risk of injury. But that does not mean that you need to abandon the bench press. It's one of my favorite exercises. The way I get around it is I use a bench block. On the days where things are feeling a little bit too tight, throw this on the bar just like this. That changes your range of motion. Now you can complete the exercise, but you're not going as deep. The tissue doesn't feel as much stress and strain. You have lower risk for injury, but you're still doing a bench press. Don't completely abandon it just because you turned 40. It's all about relativity. So maybe you're not lifting as heavy as you were in your 20s or 30s, but if it feels heavy, then it's heavy. Remember that your best today may not be the same as your best was in your 20s, but you still need to push yourself and work hard. I try to lift as heavy as I can, as often as I can, for as many reps as I can, because I love it. It makes me feel good. Now, I'm not trying to damage myself, and there's absolutely no ego involved. I'm not talking about lifting heavy for ego purposes. Check that at the door. But when you push yourself and increase weight, increase resistance, you build strength, you build tendon integrity, makes your mind stronger. It's good for you. So keep lifting heavy. Be cautious about how heavy. Don't try to get yourself hurt, but push yourself in the gym. It's okay. And don't worry about your ego, and don't worry about anybody else's perception. Remember, do your best today, no matter where that's at. The reality is, sprinting is one of those activities that can be dangerous. You can tear a hamstring, tear an Achilles tendon, but you can still run and sprint so long as you do the work up front to mitigate your risk. And I'm talking about stretching. Ballistic as well as static stretching, dynamic movement patterns, a warm-up is really critical if you want to go out and hit the track or go play a turkey bowl football game. The reality is when you hit that 40 mark, 50 mark, 60 mark, the tendons and the integrity of the tendons starts to diminish. That's normal life. That's what Father Time and Mother Nature does to us. You can't change that, but it doesn't mean you have to accept it. The reality is you just have to work a little bit harder to make sure that you're fit and prepared for the activity. So spend a little bit of time doing some static stretching, dynamic stretching, ballistic stretching. Make sure you're really good and warm before you go out and do that sprint so you don't have to come see me in clinic with a ruptured hamstring. So you can keep doing those exercises in a safe manner. You may have to invest in some equipment for your home gym or go to a gym that has things like this. This is the Duffalo bar. The important part about this is if I've had a shoulder injury, when I place this on my back, it changes the position in which my arms connect with the bar. That puts less pressure on my shoulders. Now I can complete my exercise, my squat, down and back up. I don't feel any pressure in my shoulder. Whereas with a straight bar or a high bar squat with my shoulders tweaked up, it would hurt me. So, it's okay to make modifications in your exercise selection as well as the equipment that you use so that you can keep doing the things you love, like squatting and lifting weights in your 40s and 50s and even older. Just do it based upon your anatomy.